A decade's worth of collecting Counter-Strike items. All of my items were acquired starting August 14th, 2013. I've been collecting since then up until the present day. I have 89 skins, of which 16 of them have no stickers. I prefer those particular skins that way. I would tell you that I made a lot of crafts over the years. We're going to go through the numbers of stickers that I have applied to each particular. So I have 7 1Xs, so that's a single sticker. I have 3 2Xs, I have 10 3Xs, I have 36 4Xs, and I have 17 5Xs. So if you add all those numbers up, we get a total of 272 stickers applied. Out of that, I applied 244 of them. Crafting as a hobby can be costly unless you sell it to the right buyer. You most likely will be taking a loss on the cost of the stickers. However, if you're doing it as a hobby and not for profit, man, it's so worth it. You can come up with some very interesting and unique crafts, especially since you can apply the stickers anywhere now. I would tell you that most of my crafts were done prior to the free placement update. With all that in mind, here we go. Pop-up 0.4398 with a rank of 31. It's a paint seed of 416. It has 5 paper pane gamings from Stockholm scraped on the body of the gun. It reminds me of a paper mache handmade pinata. The Sun and Leo with a float of 0.4994 and a rank of 11. The paint seed is 134. It has 1 max hollow from Antwerp on the scope. It has 3 DGT hollows from Antwerp on the body. The meaning behind it was Max Degenerate. I know, it's a funny joke. Next up, we have the Stat Track Wildfire with a float of 696, a ranking of 14 for Stat Track, a paint seed of 820. The paint seed is only notable on this because of the fact that the dragon is in fact still intact. It has a G2 hollow on the scope. A Theris with a float of quad 986 and a rank of 4. It has 4 entropic hollows, 1 on the back of the scope, 3 on the body, and 1 toxic foil on the front of the scope. It is quite literally my favorite op skin in the game, hands down, no question. The elite build, point quad 986 with a rank of 3. 3 vitalities, which are max scraped on the body. Add an interesting touch to it. It has a fanatic foil from DreamHack 2014 on the scope. I'm a fan of the way the elite build wears. We have the new scout, which is a Stat Track Disaster with a .00020 float. It is rank 3 for Stat Track. It has 5 heroic foils from Stockholm 2021 on the scope. I think it is wonderful because of the subtle accents of red that show through amazingly on the scope and the barrel of the gun. Next up, we have the Stat Track Darkwater of a float of .100 and a ranking of 149, and the paint seed of 230. It in particular looks like the Lenny face, so I saw Lenny and I had to pick him up. The Souvenir Detour, I saw it on the market. It had all the stickers scraped off already, so I knew I needed to apply 4 rage papers onto it because someone was angry with how the stickers looked. I thought it was quite funny. The Stat Track Turbo Peak with a float of .599 and a rank of 3 for Stat Track. It has 2 Copenhagen Flames hollows from Antwerp 2022 on the body to make the yin-yang symbol. I think it looks pretty impeccable. The Bloodshot with a float of .5999 and a rank of 8. It has a Mouse Sports foil from Cologne scraped on the body, so it looks like a Katowice sticker. And it looks like the gun itself is eating the mouse, which I thought was very cool. The Ghost Crusader with a float of quad 9.6 and a rank of 5.
Oh look, it's a shining object, guys. I can't believe how reflective it is.
The Necropos with a float of quad 9.86 and a rank of 3. 4 scraped entropic hollows on the body. It looks like the oldest relic known to man from the time before we started making records in the first place. Man, look at this thing. The Abyss with a quintuplet 9 float, rank 3. It has a counter logic hollow from Katowice 2015 on the 4th position. It has 3 counter logic hollows from MLG from the 1st to the 3rd position. It reminds me of a buried treasure from a sunken pirate ship. The AUG Radiation Hazard with a float of 0.5499. It's rank 10. It has 4 Liza hollows from Antwerp 2022. The sticker in tandem with the skin I think fits so well together. The AUG Sid Mead with a float of 0.7 quad 9.6 and a rank of 3. It has 4 Bad News Eagle hollows from Antwerp. Post free sticker positioning, this craft is mid. However, I find the colors to match quite well still, so I have not changed it. Stat Track Aloha with a 00 float and a pattern of 766. That's of note because there are 4 flowers on the gun. It has 3 Eternal Fire hollows from Antwerp 2022 on the main body, 2 Eternal Fire glitters on the front handle and the magazine. It reminds me of a thrift store Hawaiian shirt. The Cyrex with a quad 9 float and rank 4. It has 3 bullet hell foils on the body and 1 havoc foil from Cologne 2015 on the scope. I think it looks like a prop gun out of the 1980s, some type of sci-fi show. The Basilisk, it's a .003. It has 5 team immunity foils from Cologne 2015 scraped and freely placed throughout the main body of the gun. It looks like the Basilisk itself has a set of armor. I'd like to specifically shout out Slade for shouting out this particular craft. Moving on to the next one. The Decimator with a float of 0.8499 and a rank of 10. 4 Eternal Fire hollows from Antwerp in the standard positioning. This looks like a vaporwave looking ass skin. It's so shiny. The wear adds more detail to the gun. It looks so good. The control panel with a float of 0.999 and a rank of 12. It has 3 Vega Squadron hollows on it from Krakow 2017 on the main body. 1 NRG foil from Berlin 2019 on the grip. It reminds me of a fishing enjoyer. Man, if you like fishing, this is the craft for you. The Nightmare with a float of 0.999, rank 24. It looks like a blue howl. Change my mind. The Hyper Beast with a float of .quad 9 and a rank of 3. It has a entropic hollow from Stockholm, a Bad News Eagle from Antwerp, a Mouse hollow from Stockholm, and a Cloud 9 foil from Cologne 2015. It's a very unique craft and I wouldn't change a thing. Buzzkill with a float of 0.6996, a rank of 2. It has a Navi foil from Krakow 2017 in the best pause. It looks like a large machinery operator. The Dragon King with a float of 0.74994, a rank of 5 with 5 Eternal Fire hollows from Antwerp 2022. It's peak Dragon Ball aesthetic, man. The Radiation Hazard. It has a .7994 float and a rank of 2. It has 1 G2 esports foil from MLG Columbus and Best Boss. It has 3 G2 esports foils from Cluj-Napoca 2015 in 2nd and 4th boss. I would say that the number 1 and the number 3 are never going to be tradable considering their VAC band, and this is one of my favorite crafts. The Coalition, a float of 0.999, a rank of 6, 4 Vigilance Hollows in the standard placement, which is the quote-unquote best craft for this skin. The Spider Lily with a float of 0.986, a rank of 4. The wear on this particular skin is very unique, and the way that it decays the flower is very elegant. The Ice Cold with a float of 0.76996, a rank of 5, and a paint seed of 773. Specifically, this matters because of the wear and the paint seed. This thing gives it the yo pattern. You can see it specifically on the back of the gun where the last sticker is. It has 5 entropic hollows on the main body. The Jungle Spray with a float of 0.7997. It's rank 2. It's my favorite old school AK. I know it's mid, but I love it. Stat Track Empress with a float of 0.999. It's rank 12. It has 3 Fnatic foils from Cologne 2015 scraped on the main body. The foils add a subtle flare that elevates the skin to another level. Stat Track Elite build with a float of 0.9 quintuple, so that's 5 9s in a row. It has a rank of 2 and 3 Fnatic foils from Cologne 2015 scraped on the body. Same craft, and I like it so much. The Cryo Splatter with a float of 0.7 quad 9. It has a rank of 7. It has 5 blue gem glitters on it. Some of them are scraped, so it shows a smaller diamond. This craft reminds me of the reflection on the surface of a lake. Urban Rubble with a float of 0.4997 and a rank of 3. It also has 3 runtime hollows on the main body and 1 liquid fire hollow on the grip. Stat Track Vent Rush with a float of 0.69936 with a rank of 6. Sus P90 enjoyer, well, you got normal maps, this is a great one. The Grim with a float of 0.7 quad 9 with a rank of 4, and also has 4 max scrapes in Tropic Hollows from Stockholm 2021. I think this craft adds another layer to the skin's aesthetic. It's very subtle. The Elite build, quintuple 98 with a rank of 2. It has 4 max scraped Vitality Hollows from Stockholm. It's truly a default P90. The Blue Streak with a float of 0.7997. The rank is 3. It has 3 Eternal Fire Hollows from Antwerp on the main body, 2 Eternal Fire Glitters on the air vents. It is the true embodiment of a water gun. The Fuel Rod has a float of 0.998 and a rank of 13. 3 max scraped entropic hollows from Stockholm on the main body, 1 Calyx hollow from Antwerp on the magazine. The radiation is so bad it removed all the stickers, man. Stat Track Runic with a float of quad 97 and a rank of 7. It's the Peak Doom aesthetic MP7 Whiteout with a float of 0.7967 and a rank of 11. It has 5 Eternal Fire Hollows from Antwerp 2022 on the main body. The contrast between the skin and the stickers is one of my favorites in the game. The Neon Ply with a float of quad 97 and a rank of 2. Eternal Fire Hollow from Antwerp's on the back and 1 Liquid Fire Hollow in the middle. Really just a queer looking craft, man. Stat Track Mischief with a float of quad 977 and a rank of 4. The bullets are being consumed by this Mischief, man. I'm telling you, every time you shoot it, The bullets get chewed up by this skin. The Acid Wash with a float of 0.6799. A rank of 6 with 3 Copenhagen Flame Hollows from Antwerp on the main body. The colors match surprisingly well. Stat Track Gold Bismuth with a float of 0.6996 and a rank of 16 for Stat Track. In high wear, I think it looks like a ancient relic that was recently discovered. The Fallout Warning with a float of 0.7993 and a rank of 4. The red accents are really all you get with this one. Stat Track Mount Fuji with a float of 0.033, a paint seed of 449, which is the 2 sun pattern. It has 5 OG hollows from Paris 2023. It is the peak Red Bull enjoyer. It really gives you wings. Ruby Poison Dart with a float of 0.4 quad 94, a rank of 3 with 4 heroic glitters from Antwerp. It looks terrible, like actually garbage. I don't know why it looks this way, but I just had to get my hands on it, man. Stat Track Modest Threat with a float of 0.74999, a rank of 2 for Stat Track. It has 4 Apex glitters from Paris 2023. It's a very orange craft. The Setting Sun with a float of 0.998, a rank of 13 and a paint seed of 852. It has 2 health golds applied and scraped, and I think it looks like it has a bunch of red accents with a couple bejeweled hearts on it, man. Stat Track Oceanic with a float of 0.5998, a rank of 42 for Stat Track, and a paint seed of 808. It has 5 Eternal Fire glitters from Antwerp 2022. Mac 10, more like Mac 10 Glitter Bomb. Nuclear Garden with a float of 0.6998, a rank of 2, a paint seed of 83. It has 5 Ninjas in Pajama foils from Stockholm 2021, freely placed and rotated so that the logo of Stockholm was off of the gun. Stat Track Heat with a float of 0.998 and a rank of 53 for the Stat Track. It is 4x Godsent Hollow from Stockholm 2021, standard placement. This craft is in honor of my friend who made a Godsent 4x for every default skin. Stat Track Button Masher with a float of 0.99989. It is rank 7 for Stat Track. It has 4 Chris J foils from Boston 2018. 3 of them are scraped and 1 of them is on the handle. For me, the Chris J signature is like the Mona Lisa of signatures. So in honor of Chris J, I made this craft. The Assault with a float of 0.61996, a rank of 20. It has 4 scraped Cloud9 papers from Antwerp. I think it looks like a Cloud9 storage container, man. The High Seas with a float of 0.6999, a rank of 10. I think in a high wear, it changes the color and looks like a deep sea treasure, man. The Prototype 0.6 quad 9 rank 6. This is how I see the negative. It's a prototype. The skin exemplifies these qualities for me, man. OSIPR with a float of 0.6999, a rank of 39. It has 4 liquid hollows from Stockholm. One of them is scraped on the magazine, so I could test it out throughout the beta. The Stat Track Nebula Crusader 0.997, a rank of 47 for the Stat Track. It's an arcade machine and it's super shiny, man. The Slipstream with a float of 0.4 quad 9, a rank of 8. 3 Eternal Fire Hollows from Antwerp 2022. The bullet range for the XM1014 is truly infinite, man. The Bulldozer with a float of 0.7998. It is rank 4 with 4 Navi foils from Stockholm 2021, max scraped. The embodiment of a tradesman's toolbox. Irradiated alert with a float of 0.7998, a rank of 6. It has 1 surf up. Looks like the man's surfing on some water, man. He's catching some waves. Don't you see him? The Kiss Love with a .quad98 and a rank of 6, 1 liquid hollow. You just can't take your eyes off of it. If you throw it in front of the enemy, they're sure to get distracted by it and want to at least look at it while your teammate, you know, takes the angle. Stat Track Hyper Beast with a float of 0.5998. It is rank 2. It has a JT hollow, a Woxic hollow, a GXX hollow. When I saw these signatures, I envisioned them immediately on this Nova, and I am a huge fan of the colors and how they match on this particular. Clear Polymer with a float of 0.999 and a rank of 12. 3 legendary foils. How it feels to use this weapon, man. Max difficulty. The Crimson Web with a float of 0.7999. It is rank 3 with a paint seed of 852. It has 1 Australis hollow from Boston 2018 and 2 health gold scraped. There is no replacement for this craft. Truly, Crimson Web is a wonderful finish. The Stat Track Light Rail with a float of 0.8997 and a rank of 11. It's a budget blaze and yet better due to the normal maps. What a wonderful design to see. The Blue Ply with a float of 0.9 quintuple, a rank 5 with a 3x Cloud 9 hollow, 1x JT, and 1x Eternal Fire. It's my favorite deagle I've crafted. The subtle design mixed with these stickers just hit my dopamine receptors every time. The Crazy 8 with a float of 0.00049Z Team Glitters from Antwerp 2022. The Stat Track Elite 1.6 with a float of 0.007. It's just the classic default dualies. The Balance with a float of .quad9 and a rank of 4. It has 4 Evil Genius hollows from Stockholm 2021 scraped. Not gonna lie, it's pretty mid. Somehow I still like it though. The Berries and Cherries with a float of 010, a paint seed of 773, and 1 MLG foil on best position. I'm a huge fan of how the sticker blends the color perfectly together. Stat Track Ice Cap with a float of 0.0100 and a paint seed of 971. 3 Eternal Fire hollows from Antwerp on the main body, 1 Team Envious hollow from Boston 2018 on the back. It looks like a dial of a watch face. It's so unique, man. Stat Track Hexagon with a float of 0.3999 and a rank of 6, 1 FaZe Clan hollow from Antwerp. The colors work okay. Stat Track Tigress with a float of 0.999 with a rank of 4 with 1 FaZe Clan hollow from Rio scraped, 1 Sharks Esports follow from Stockholm on the grip. It's a zoo craft. Oh no. Stat Track Visions with a float of 0.6999 and a rank of 1. It has 4 Fire in the Hollows. Man, the sticker transcends the skins to another plane of existence, and I just can't get enough. Stat Track Verdigris with a float of 0.6999 and a rank of 8. It has 4 Entropic Hollows from Stockholm in the standard placement. The stickers color match with the skin. Without question, man, it freaking blends into the skin. The check engine with a float of 0.5999. It is rank 6 with a paint seed of 630. It has 4 Gambit gaming hollows from MLG in standard placement. It's a 4-star experience, man. It's almost there. It's just not quite the best. Ticket to Hell with a float of 0.759988, a rank of 8, and 4 G2 esports papers from Stockholm 2021. So you're telling me you threw this gun into a ditch and ran it over 3 times. USP Whiteout with a float of 0.799 and a rank of 79. It has 5 Eternal Fire Hollows from Antwerp 2022. And once again, the contrast between the skin and the sticker is one of my favorites, man. The Black Lotus with a float of 0.8 quad 9 and a rank of 3. It has 1 9Z Team Glitter on the grip and 3 9Z hollows from Antwerp on the main body. It's simple, to the point, elegant, and yet not too flashy. Stat track Wicked Sick with a float of 0.99. It's rank 47 for the stat track. It has 3 Eternal Fire Hollows from Antwerp. It's my favorite P2000 skin. The normal maps mixed with the colors is just wild. The High Beam with a float of 0.013013 and a paint seed of 511. It's my favorite pattern. It has 5 Eternal Fire Hollows from Antwerp 2022. And oh man, that color is so sublime. And this is one of the most underrated Glocks in the game. Stat Track Vogue with a float of 0.74998 and a rank of 3. 3x Copenhagen Flames from Stockholm standard placement. The colors match surprisingly well, but the placement has room for improvement because of the new update. The Reactor with a float of 0.996, a rank of 6, and a paint seed of 781. It has 5 Vitality Hollows from Stockholm. Man, I saved the skin from OP Skins before it shut down, and it looks like a goddamn tooth pattern now. I have a pair of low float Moto gloves Smokeout with a float of 0.070. It's rank 108, and these gloves are some of the best in the game, and they exemplify extraordinary, man. They're just so good. I have a pair of high float sports gloves Scarlet Chamois with a float of 0.799 and a rank of 4. They're some of the best red gloves in the game, and you can try to change my mind in the comments below. The Karambit Black Laminate with a float of 0.992. It is ranked true, and man, it is truly my favorite knife. It's an end game achievement. The takeaway: buy what you like, sell what you don't. At the end of the day, to each their own, as they say. Happy collecting and crafting, everyone. I hope you found this video interesting, and I hope you all have a wonderful night.